clear for you? I can hear it, but it's like a little bit. All right, literally, it's no pressure. I was supposed to have like 3 guests today, but I don't know if nobody gonna show up again. It's one of them kind of days, but I guess I'm just kind of like freestyle about it. But I guess I want to go and get this out the way because it's Euro guy that came up here and he was talking big shit and I thought it was some gangster shit, but other people disagree or whatever. But to me, I don't know if I necessarily would have did it that way, but I start off when I watched the video. He came in because Ego put up 2 videos. It was a video where he came in and he peeked in, and he had on his mask, and then he pulled his mask down and he came in, and he was saying Ego a fuck ass nigga. He said I should snatch them fake ass chains off, but they ain't hitting on nothing. He said y'all mad because y'all doing open mic shows. He said talk some shit that you know about. So I kind of felt like Ego should have beat him up, but I be feeling like, cause I don't really have like a big reputation in Atlanta like that. But it's like I have to show niggas like I'm not a nigga to play with. So if niggas is coming in your face talking shit like that, it's like I feel like you supposed to do something about it. You get what I'm saying? So some people don't see it that way. And I said something to Ego at text, right? So when I seen him at text, when he sent me the video, I said, damn, you should have beat the nigga up. And he was like, I just want a nigga to put his hands on me. So when we get in front of, I guess Scottsdale, and we like his crew or whatever. So I'm like, they was like, we was talking about it. I was like, Ego, yeah, you should have beat him up. And he started stomping his feet and pointing. He was like, you ain't finna get away from saying no fuck nigga shit like that. And No Lane started laughing, and I'm like, huh? So I'm just kind of looking like I didn't want to start no argument because I kind of felt like if I would have said what I really wanted to say, we would have been fighting. So I just let it go. You get what I'm saying? And then I asked because they left or whatever. So I asked Dan. I was like, I said, bro, what you would have did if a nigga came up there and said something? He said I would have at least said something. He would have said, I forgot exactly what he said, but he was saying he would have said something or whatever. And I asked Part twice about it, and he was like, I said, bro, you think that's some fuck nigga shit that I said he should have beat him up? He said, nah. He was like, on some street nigga shit, bro. He said, nah, he's supposed to whoop his ass. But he was like, I can't judge a nigga doing what he doing. But he was like, what you said, that wasn't no fuck nigga shit. So I didn't think it was. I ain't want to argue since we so cool or whatever. But it's like sometimes I be feeling like some niggas around you ain't gonna tell you the truth because they feel like they cool with you or whatever. So that's what I kind of thought it was, because I'm like, well, the street niggas in Alabama must be different from the niggas in Georgia, because these niggas talking different from, I'm like, any nigga where I'm from would have said what I'm saying, but, they looked at it different, so I just was kind of like, I ain't gonna really, like, say exactly what I felt, because, I actually called my folks, like, when anything happened, I called them and tell them what happened. And she was just, my mom. Actually, my mom, she was like, she a female, but she was like the street nigga in my family. Like, she done cut bitches' faces and hit them with bottles. If bitches was talking about they gonna jump on her, she'll be like she with it. So she the street nigga in our family. And she was just like, be careful. And she was like, niggas need to be careful because, them rappers in Atlanta, they be getting killed like that. So I was just thinking like, you know, he's supposed to be a signed artist. Why would he even like waste his time coming up here and like trying to break down some shit to ego? Like I didn't really understand that. So I don't know if he going through some shit or what, but I felt like that was kind of crazy because it's like a lot of niggas is gonna say something crazy to you, and it's like you can't address all that bullshit. You get what I'm saying? But it's like for a nigga, like, you know, he got a whole bunch of followers. It's like so many people who can say some negative shit, but why would you address this show? Because we not even a big show or whatever. So I was kind of feeling like we must struck some kind of nerve, or somebody struck a nerve to him for him to even react, to be even like coming up here, and you a signed artist. Like, as a matter of fact, his manager, I don't know if it was his, he said it was saying it was his manager on the guy page, but he had wrote me. He was like, he said y'all some hoes or some shit like that. He said y'all some hoes along with him, and I'm like, I was like, I said, bro, I said come to the show and let's get some straightening, because I don't really know who the nigga is for real. And then he said something about I gotta pay him. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, I don't pay anybody to come do this show. Like, I don't know where the fuck you get that shit from. And it's like, if anybody should be paid, would be Euro Gotti to come up here, but I wouldn't even pay him. But who finna pay a manager to do an interview? That's insane. But I didn't go back. Matter of fact, after we had that little exchange, he said something about, he was like, you broke or some shit like that. And I was like, well, we can go with that narrative if you want to say I'm broke because I don't want to pay you. I guess he thought of what I was going to be like, no, I ain't broke. I can give you 500 or some stupid shit like that. But I'm like, yeah, we could go with that. You can say I'm broke or whatever. But matter of fact, I'm the type of nigga, I'm careful about what I say, because I always be by myself. So anything I say on my show or whatever, I'm gonna say it to somebody's face. So I'm not the nigga who finna be going crazy, talking reckless about motherfuckers, because that's not what I do. And I know you have to keep that same energy when you see niggas, or you really look like a bitch. So I'm not no nigga who gonna talk crazy, but I'm gonna say what I need to say and just move on. So, you know, the nigga blocked me, and that was the last I heard from him. Maybe one day we can get both of them up here to do an interview, like to see like why the nigga was so like mad about the shit. And I guess that's about it, really, man. I on that situation, because matter of fact, that's the only time. Well, I mean, yeah, that's been like the most dramatic thing that happened up here, because we just had what was the nigga the old, no, not Hefe, but the older nigga, he was in here, he left out the show or whatever. Yeah. I guess that was kind of dramatic. But matter of fact, Ego brought that shit up at Text 2, because he said, he was like, when I brought that shit up about Eurogata, he said, yeah, Merc, he said something crazy to you. And I'm like, bro, that nigga didn't say nothing crazy to me. I don't know if he was trying to flip it. I was like, bro, he didn't say nothing crazy to me. Like, cause when he said something smart, like I kind of listened to it and I let it go because it wasn't really smart. Because he said, I was like, I don't really want to get into it with him. And he was like, you damn so don't, in the background. And I listened to it, you know, I digested the shit, and I was like, I'm going to let that shit go. Because I could have pushed that shit on and been like, what the fuck you mean and all that shit. But I let it go. But I don't feel like, I be feeling like, I don't feel like no nigga finna try me like that. And if it do, like, I'm gonna have to take it to where it gotta go. So of course, like, I'm not gonna fuck up nobody's equipment, or, you know, if somebody go off on they end, if somebody go off on their end, that's them. And you know too, he said, yeah, he said, you know, they be saying you messy. He said any other time they be saying Bug messy or whatever. And he said this time niggas is saying I shoulda hit the nigga. But I don't know where the fuck all this messy shit come from. Like I don't be talking behind niggas back like that. Like I don't be dirty macking bitches to niggas. Like, I don't do that. But niggas come on the show and niggas talk crazy. I had a lot of niggas come on this show and talk crazy, and I highlight this shit. I'm not getting no conversation a nigga that had with me in private and recording it and putting it up. I don't know where the fuck that shit come from, but if a nigga come on this show and talk crazy and all this type of shit, I'ma highlight it. And matter of fact, I forgot what's his name, the DJ guy in the morning.
Big.
Yeah, what he said? He said, cause Ego said, what he said? He was like, yeah, he said I said this shit, and I'm like, yeah, all the niggas be saying this shit. I don't change the title of the video to some shit that you didn't say. Matter of fact, sometimes I change the cuss word to a more like proper word, but I say exactly what the nigga said, so I'm not changing what nobody say. But if that's what being messy is, then fuck it. I just call me that. Like, if that's what niggas
I think they be talking about the titles you choose sometimes.
It's exactly what they people be saying, but
you'll pick it out you'll pick it out of your clip. You'll find out that it'll be said in the clip. So it ain't like you fabricating no shit. I get it.
But shit, I guess I'm gonna start on this. Matter of fact, this is what I want to talk about too, because I kind of felt like, sometimes if somebody catch you off guard and you freeze up, it's like it's okay to say I froze up or I got scared or something. You get what I'm saying? So I thought about like a time that I kind of froze up, and I remember I was with I was with M16, and I was probably like 19, and we went to this party, and I was from the west side, but 16 was from Alberta, and they was into it with some niggas from the south side. So it was dark as fuck, right? So Alberta started fighting with Rosedale, and 16 just jumped in and he hit like 2 niggas, but I'm just kind of looking like, what the fuck? So I didn't end up hitting nobody. He was like, "Bud," he said, "Why the fuck you ain't hit nobody?" I was like, "Bro, I don't know, bro." He said, "No, you was right there, man." So he was like, so we ended up leaving, and we see these niggas at a Shell station. They was like 4 cars deep. So 16, he went in the store to get something to drink. So I seen the niggas pull up, so I got out, and we was with his cousin Javars. So Javar sat in the car. he froze up. So I went and stood there, and I forgot the nigga name. He was like the little leader nigga from Rose, and he was like, "Damn, bro." To 16, he was like, "Damn, I thought we was cool. Why the fuck you hit me, nigga?" He was like, "I was just saying, bro. It was dog. You know what I'm saying?" And he was like, and his homeboy was trying to hype the shit up. He was like, "I'm saying, no, fuck that shit. You said he hit you, right?" He was like, "Man, fuck that nigga." And I was like, "God damn, we got to fight all these niggas. They 3-4 cars deep." But the little leader nigga, I guess he light sick, so he was like, "Fuck that shit," because his face was kind of swole up from the hit. So he was like, he said he was kind of like, "We good," and they end up leaving. So when 6 went in the store, them niggas was still out there the whole time. So I sat out there maybe for a couple minutes before he came back out, and we walked back to the car. So that was like one of my moments to where like I kind of froze up, but it's okay to say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I live my truth. If you freeze up or you feel like you scared or something, it's alright to say that shit. Sometimes that shit happen. Like, niggas don't always be this big and bad persona that they be playing, but that was, I was like, I was 19, so that was one of my times where a nigga was like, "God damn," like it was dark. That was probably like my first time like being around when a whole bunch of niggas just broke out and started fighting. But other than that, it's usually like some one type of shit. But that was years ago. So I guess we're gonna talk about. Matter of fact, it was a video about a trans, and she was like, if a guy liked me, and then he find out that if he find out I'm really born a man, that means he transphobic. And the female who was doing the video was saying, "No, that's not what that means. Because you know, phobic is like being afraid of something, and it's like having like a irrational feel, a dislike to something. But I mean, I don't feel like we necessarily feel trans. It's just like that's just something we not trying to fuck with. But that's maybe they need to change the word. Like you might not dislike them or fear them. It's just like I don't want to fuck with that shit type of shit. So I kind of feel like that word probably should be kind of changed up a little bit. And another video was Trick Daddy. He they was asking him did he like his booty ate, and I used to bring that shit up a few times, but and Nora was like, do you have your legs up? And he was saying it depends, but I don't know. That's like one of them things you be saying like, is that really homosexual or? I guess I don't know. That's people get downs, but I don't know, man. I done heard niggas. One of the most gangster niggas I know. He said he liked that shit. He didn't act gay at all. Like he don't act gay at all, but I don't know. Some niggas say that shit. Some niggas say that shit gay, and some I'm saying it ain't. It is or it ain't. Okay. Matter of fact, it was another video. It was a guy. It was a 6'7" guy, a 40-year-old, and it was in Florida, Porter, Florida, and they showed the video where he punched his 7th grader in the arm, and I think that's pretty common because I know when I was in high school, like them security guards and shit used to try to fight me, and you used to hear about shit like that. They really be trying to bully you and shit like that. But some of them niggas from like where I was from, they'll be like, fuck that shit, nigga, touch me again, I'm gonna beat your ass. So I used to see niggas do that shit in the hallway. Them niggas be like 17, 18, like, but yeah, that's pretty common. And when you younger, they really be trying to pick on you and bully you and call you names, but everybody don't be going for that shit. But if you do it to the wrong kid, they'll come do something to you. And matter of fact, one of the guys who did some shit to me in high school, I had seen him later on, Mr. Lee, like he had pulled me over, and I asked did he remember me, and he was like, yeah, but he pushed the door on me when Mr. Harris or whatever was trying to fight me, and some girl had I think I told the story before. Some girl had made up that I tried to touch her. And I always thought she looked like she wasn't attractive. Her ass was fat, but I wasn't really looking at her like that. But she used to call me ugly and shit, and I used to call her fat. As a matter of fact, like the year after that, she lost some weight. But when I started calling her name, it made her mad. So she went to the office and said I tried to touch on her. So when he was taking me to the office, he was grabbing my arm. I'm like, bro, get off of me. You don't have to touch me. So he was like, go in the bathroom, which my stupid ass went in there. He was like, he said, so what's up? You want to fight? And I'm like, I said, so what you want to do? He was bigger than me too. He probably was like, he maybe was like 6'4", 6'3". He was bigger than me and he had more weight. And I was like, what you want to do? He was like, oh, you scared. And I was like, well, I ain't gonna hit you unless you hit me. But it was 2 officers anyway in there. It was one looking out at the door, and there was another one standing by him. So I mean, even if I would have whooped him, like they would have beat the shit out of me anyway. And when he left, he said let him stay in here for a minute cause the camera gonna catch him. So he walked out the bathroom. And I just sat there for a minute. Then Mr. Lee was like, come on. And I went to like walking out the door and he slammed the door on me. And I was like, oh, fat ass nigga. And he grabbed his gun and he looked me. He walked up like he was like an inch from my face. He said, what you say? I ain't say shit, nigga. I just looked at him. And then he was like, oh. And then we walked on to the office. But then, matter of fact, when I was in ISS one time, it was this big ass nigga, and he hit me with a ruler, like it was like on my head or something. And I went and told the people at the office, but they ain't even give a fuck. It's like, I don't know why you tell anybody at school, because every time you tell them anything, they don't never do shit about it, man. So I guess that's what I was always fighting and shit. But he's like, don't even say that to the teacher. It don't even make no sense. They just look at you like, why the fuck you telling me? So that was pretty much my
experience.
Yeah, with my school shit. I mean, I was in a lot of other fights though. My senior year, I got sent to alternative school and all that kind of shit. And the nigga who I got to fight with, he got like a rape charge later on. And matter of fact, when I got sent to the alternative school, it was like, it wasn't even a whole block of, matter of fact, it was like a block away from the regular high school. And he ran over there, because when you get sent to alternative school, it's like damn near K through 12 over there. So he walked over there and he told niggas that he beat me up. And I'm like, what the fuck is that nigga talking about? I beat the shit out of he came to school with band-aids and everything on. I was like flawless. But when he seen the niggas I was going to school with and they ran over there, they was like, yeah, you know so-and-so? What was that nigga name? Gabriel Sealer. They was like, you know Gabriel? I was like, yeah. They was like, yeah, he said he whooped your ass. I was like, that nigga ain't did shit. I beat his ass. You see, I'm over here, and he still was at school.
They couldn't tell though, man.
But yeah, he was an old goof ass nigga who used to like one of them niggas who used to try you. Like, matter of fact, when I was in school, I used to have a bald head. He one of them niggas who, like, he slapped my head one time. This before we got to fight. And I said, man, what the fuck wrong with you, nigga? And I pushed him. And it was like little shit like that, but it's just like we ended up getting into it. When we skipped school or whatever, I did some, and he was like, he hit me with a glass ball. It didn't bust on me. So I seen him like a week later. I beat him up, and he busted my mama window. He came by. We was in a project, then he came by our apartment and busted the window. And then I think like a week later, I seen him again. That was right before I got sent to alternative school. I seen him again, and he was like, "Oh, bitch ass nigga!" I dropped my book bag. I beat his ass again, and then we went to the office and they sent me over there. But shout out to Gabriel. I don't know if he out or not. That was like years ago when before I left or when he went or whatever. Okay, I guess, I just be talking about regular shit too. Like I went to Wendy's, right? And I ordered some shit, and my fries was cold. I usually eat cold fries, but sometimes you just be like, I don't want this shit. So I said, hey, my fries is cold. And the bitch got the fries, and she dipped the fries in the grease and gave them back to me. And so when
as opposed to making you some fresh fries.
Yeah, so when I seen the fries, they brown as fuck, but they hot as hell. And I said, hey, give me my money back, man. I ain't got time for this today. So the manager came to the window, and she was like, she said, matter of fact, 4 employees came with the manager, and it was like some little cute bitches. They came behind the manager, and everybody was looking at me, and they was like, so what's the problem? I said, hey, I used to work at a Wendy's. I know she re-dropped these fries because they brown as hell. Like, just give me my money back. And it's like she wanted to say something, but she was like, how the fuck this nigga? That was what she was thinking, because she looked and she just shut the window and she gave me my money back. But usually I go along with that cold fried shit, and even though I'm usually supposed to get salads and shit, but I fuck them and get fries, but I usually just leave. But sometimes you don't just be going for that shit, man. You just be like fucking and you say something. That's kind of how I am. Like if somebody fuck with me, sometimes you let shit slide, and then you be like, fuck this nigga. It don't matter if I gotta go to jail or whatever, if I lose my job, but nigga, you ain't finna keep playing with me. And matter of fact, one of the last fights I was about to get in, it was this guy. I went up to Chattanooga, and I had dropped some bread trays Cause I used to work for SNL like a long time, so he was new, but I was just coming back, so he thought I was new, and he said, hey, you can't drop that right there. I said, what are you talking about? There's no assigned spot where I have to drop it. What the fuck are you talking about? He said, no, they go over there. So I left it right there. So I ended up going back up there, and the nigga, matter of fact, he bumped me. So when he bumped me, I was finna let it ride, but I said, man, fuck this shit, man. I said, I don't know what the fuck wrong with you, nigga. I was like, I don't play like that. I said, what's up, nigga? You want to fight me? What's up? Like, I was like breathing hard. I said, what's up, nigga? What you want to do? So he bucked his eyes, like he froze up. So I walked outside, and it took him like a couple minutes, and he came outside, and then he went to his car. So when he went to his car, when he walked towards me, I took off running. I'm like, I'm like, bro, like I'm not that fucking stupid. If a nigga disappear, and if you tell a nigga to square up and then all of a sudden he disappear and say what's up, I'm not about to fight you, nigga. And if I ain't got no pistol or nothing on me, what I look like fighting a nigga who done disappeared? Like, even matter of fact, when the first time that shit happened to me, I was in like the 8th grade. This nigga was fucking with me. So on the way home, I'm talking big shit. I'm like, fuck you, old bitch ass, old fat ass nigga. So he ended up going in the house, and he comes back at the house, and he was like, he said, what's up? What you want to do? I said, bro, like, I'm not stupid. I just waved my hand. What's going on? I just waved my hand and was like, nigga, I'm not about to fight you. I'm not stupid like that. I probably was like 13 in. But if a nigga disappear and come back, do not fight that nigga unless you got something on you. You gotta be a fool to do that. Okay, it was a video too about it's about like when when you bring around a female, and it's like basically you have a homeboy that'll kind of start like hating or like pulling out money. And matter of fact, I ain't necessarily got that example happening, but matter of fact, one of my pops, we cool now, but it was it was Jesus, but he didn't ever say no shit like that. He'll just be like, if I took him around a bitch, he'll just be like, he'd be like, damn. He'll say some tricking off shit like, damn, bro, we should go so and so. So I would have gave them hoes hundreds of dollars. He'll say something like that to try to entice the hoe. So when he see her, he gonna holler at her, because a lot of them hoes be like, they be like sacked. They be about money. So he'll just say some little weird shit like that. But I caught on to it to like what he was doing. But it's best when you got niggas around you like that, like don't even take them around no bitches, man, because they'll say something to the bitch when you walk off, or it be like dirty niggas who do shit like that. But we cool now. We used to smash some of the same chicks though, but if I ain't smashed the chick yet, like, yeah, you kind of doing too much. At least wait till I hit her and be like, yeah, go ahead. Like, sometimes niggas be doing too much. And another thing I was looking at it was on Instagram. It wasn't a chick I tried to holler at, but it was a chick. She said ugly niggas always be DMing her and trying to holler at her, but she like a 5 or a 6. So it's like if a female a 5 or a 6, like what type of niggas do you think you supposed to get if you a 5 or a 6 and you broke? Like, I don't understand that. But I know Kevin Samuels said something about like a lot of women, they want niggas to look better than them, which is the case for a lot of times, because a matter of fact, the chicks that I hear holler that ugly shit, like they usually be the less attractive female. Like a bitch, I heard this bitch say Bobby Brown was ugly, but she looked like Bobby Brown with hair, like with long hair. So I don't really understand that shit. 5 or 6s expect 10s, 9s, and 8s to walk up to them, but Yeah, that don't make no sense. Even when you an average nigga, like you supposed to get an average bitch unless you got money. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no money, you get average bitches or below average looking girls. Okay, so matter of fact, one of the last stories was this woman shot her ex because she wouldn't take him back, and she actually cheated on the guy. So I had one female like that. It was kind of like it was hard to get rid of her. Like if you tell her you don't want to, she don't want to leave, or the next day she'll try to act like everything cool. But she was the bitch. She ended up stealing all this shit from me and applying for credit cards. This bitch was doing all kind of shit. She was from Jersey, but you know it's like you kind of reap what you sow. So I guess later on in life, like you know, life started kicking their ass. Like a lot of bitches who leave me, it be like life start kicking their ass and they be having this. Matter of fact, they'll leave you while you at work and shit. And well, I know this how they do me. They'll leave while I'm at work. They'll steal all kind of dishes and they daughters might steal. They be stealing clothes and all kind of shit. But I don't get man. I just get the shit back. You feel me? And later on they be fucked up. You get what I'm saying? And they always end up calling me on some shit like, I should have stayed with you. And I'd be like, yeah, bitch, I told you that. Like, of course. You feel me? But, you know, that's what it is, man. But, you know, like something that can calm you down, too, because it's kind of like when, you know, women don't really leave you. Like, God remove them from your life anyway. So it's a bitch you really don't supposed to have. You know, they say...
You got your interview, Brillo, in the building?
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. So it's like they say God, he hear conversations you didn't hear and all this kind of stuff. So they kind of be like some motherfuckers that you don't need around anyway. But I guess I'm gonna jump into a couple songs and then we gonna jump into this Brelo interview. We gonna be right back.